Dang it. I
Yes!
know I did it
Yes!
again. After I was just bragging. I was just bragging to our moderator that in the previous live stream I did not screw this up. I did, of course, screw it up this live stream. I was muted. I am sorry. Welcome to today's very special Saturday afternoon live stream. We're very excited to be with you here today. I am excited because I'm joined by my lovely wife, Erin Heasley. This could be bad for me personally, but I know it's going to be a lot of fun for you. Because Erin is, first of all, very relentless and not putting up with my garbage, and also someone who has a very unique perspective on the shift as my spouse, and she's going to share that with us today.
And Molly. And
And
Molly.
Molly, that's right, and she played Molly in the short film. So yeah, Erin's got some stuff to share. We also are going to, and we're going to do this really, really soon. We're going to be sharing with you a very special video of an LA trip that I took with producer Orlando J. Gomez about a month ago. We went down and we saw some of the visual effects tech that we're going to be utilizing in the feature film. And I went down to LA to check it out. This is very cutting edge stuff, and we're going to show you a little
I
glimpse of
haven't
what that
I
looks
haven't
like.
seen it yet.
You haven't seen the video? No, because I just finished editing it. Nobody's seen it except me.
I'm
So
excited.
yeah, so it's going to be really cool. I don't think I even showed you pictures, did I?
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
you
seen
haven't seen anything.
anything. He's been with you people.
That's right. I've been very busy. Um, we would love for you to share this stream. Please hit that share button. Let's let everybody know that we're live right now. There's a lot of people, especially in this last week, we've seen the investment just go up and up, and people are coming to the shift for the first time. This is a great way to find out what the shift is all about and to see you in the comments talking about it. We would love, in fact, for you to share your story. How did you find the shift? And what does it mean to you? Share those stories with us in the comments. We would love to read them here live. And engagement matters. The more that Facebook and YouTube and all wherever we are sees you commenting and participating, the more that they put it out to other people to see it. So if you're a supporter of the shift, an investor of the shift, and you want this thing to go out wider, comment. That's what's really going to help
And
right now.
that's free.
And that is free to do. That is correct. We also encourage any questions. If you've got any questions, we will take those live. You can ask at angelstudios.com/the shift. That is the URL right there. I shouldn't do the point thing.
No,
I
you should
should.
not.
I should
It's
not.
right down
Yeah,
there.
they did that on American Idol. I always thought that was so annoying, and yet here I am doing
Yeah,
it.
and like at me.
And at you, and I don't mean to do that. It's rude to point. Um, we uh, we also want to ask you to let people know about the shift, wherever you are. I've gotten some reports recently from people who are doing special Zoom calls with their friends, and just telling them why they're passionate about the film. And that is making a real big difference. And a number of those people on that Zoom call last night have already invested. And so shout out to them, especially if they're listening right now. But that's a great way to share the shift. But okay, so quick investment update. We are up past $370,000 right now, on our way to our $500,000 minimum goal. But of course, we can go far above that. So don't anybody think that once we get to 500, which we will, that we need to stop there, because we need to keep going to make this film.
Please.
Um, we do not want you to be left behind. This is our second time crowdfunding, and the last time we did this, so many people messaged me very quickly afterwards and said, "My goodness, I wish I had gotten in. I missed it." Don't let that be you. If you're thinking, "I need to do this," now's the time to do it. It's going to sneak up on you faster than you think. And you know what, that happened with The Chosen as well. There's so many people who wish they had gotten in on The Chosen, and now look at where The Chosen is. It's huge, and they're not even doing crowdfunding
Are
anymore.
there really over 860 investors?
Yes, there are over 860 investors right now.
That's a
That's
lot.
a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I think it's actually over 870 investors. That note that I
Wow.
wrote to myself
Sorry, it's on my screen.
is
I
old.
was just, wow.
But there are only 12 days left. April 29th is the last day. So now's the time to get in. Here's just some real quick, some choice reactions that we've gotten recently. Um, this is from El Renee. She said, "My mama shared this short film with me because of a discussion we had that stemmed from a very serious issue concerning one of our eldest son's friends last weekend. I'm passing it along in hopes that it reaches someone out there who questions why God allows certain things to happen, because he's God and can stop them, yet do not realize God allows us free will to choose our paths. I hope it reaches someone who needs answers and who doesn't know the power of prayer or the power of God's everlasting love for us." Um, El Rene is speaking directly to exactly why I made this film. We got another reaction
And
from,
shout out to El Renee's mama.
oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, for sure. And that's that's when it gets powerful, is when people are sharing with other people. I can say whatever, you can say whatever, but when you share it, when you tell people, that's what has a lot of power. Um, okay. You want to read this one? This is a comment we got from
He
Chris.
chose the like smallest one possible
I'm
to
sorry.
ask
Yeah, you're
me,
gonna have
so
to
I'm
lean
gonna
in.
lean in like I need my old glasses. As someone who has never been truly introduced into any faith, I found this short to be on point. I do not know what to believe as it comes to faith, but I do pray at times, mainly at night, every once in a while to God, whom I tend to believe to be the creator of all. I am not sure doing so is actually doing much for those whom I pray for, but I can only hope in the long run it helps keep those I pray for safe, and those I have lost are free from hurt and pain. I have never understood that there I have never understood if there is a God, why he or she causes so much pain with the loss of a child or at the hands of a crime. I absolutely hate the term only the good die young. I have always tried to be someone who is a helper, rarely asking for help. Doing so will punch my heaven ticket. I guess what I'm trying to say is I related to this short film. So despite what some of the comments are, it has had an impact on me. How to proceed is always my question. How to fight my own demons is still a question I try to answer. I can only hope and at times pray I can make a positive impact in the lives of those I come in contact with. I know this is a hard ask of myself, especially since I am a stubborn person. Keep up the good work and know your work is impactful on lives. Thank you and stay safe.
Awesome, awesome comment. I am hearing more and more, sometimes covertly. Sometimes people who don't necessarily have a faith but are attracted to the shift don't feel comfortable putting their comment out there in the way that Chris just did. So I have heard from people privately as well who feel a pull, who are agnostic, who maybe don't have a faith, but they feel a pull towards this film. And they're receiving something. They're receiving faith in the idea of God in a different way. And that to me is encouraging. And it speaks to a lot of the reasons why I made this film in the first place. One more quick comment from Devin. He said, "It is well written, it is riveting, and it sucks you in and makes you want to watch till the end." That's
Which
his
is so much better than it just sucking.
yes. Thankfully, he used the word "sucks" in a good context
Yeah.
in that instance.
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you, Devin. Um, but yeah, we love hearing that. That's his experience with the short film. What we hope is so much more for the feature film. The feature film, we have that goal. We want it to suck you in, we want it to be riveting. And those of you that have read the script, and it is available right now at angelstudios.com/the shift, in a move that I don't know if any other filmmaker has ever done this, you can read the full script or hear the full script in the audio version on the site right now, which is pretty crazy. But if you want to know what the feature film is going to be like, that's the best way to do it. And hey, those of you that are listening right now, watching along with us, drop your script reactions in the comments. What do you think? Let other people know what you see beyond this short film. We got a quick comment here from, I'm going to do my best here, New Shig, who said, signing in, would we need to put in our SSN, meaning social security number? New Shig, yes, you do. You're shaking your head. No,
Oh,
the
not
answer is
no, I
actually
meant
yes.
signing into the live you wouldn't.
Oh no, not signing into the live. No, if you're signing in, there is no signing into the live. Really, it's just calling it up. But Nushig, if you're talking about doing an investment, yes, we do require your social security number, and the reason for that is because this is an investment and not a donation. We are regulated by the SEC. We are offering shares in a company, and so we need to be able to pay you when we have money to give you back on your investment. And the only way to do that is through identification method like a social security number. So it's just a very typical process that's common to every business that's offering shares in a company. To be honest with you, we don't care about your social security number. We don't want your social security number, and we don't really look at it. It's just something that the bank has to have in order to register the investment with you and your identity. That's the way that
Hey,
works.
Timothy in Ohio just invested $102.
What? Timothy, thank you. Awesome. Thank you for partnering with us. Anybody who partners with us during this show, I say show like we're on TV. We're not, but we're basically putting on a
We
show.
should be.
We should be. I think you should be, not so much me. Um, Anybody who invests while we're live here today, we are going to shout you out. We would love to do that. So please invest now and let us give you all the credit in the world. Um,
Can we
okay,
see the video?
yes, it's time to see the
Okay, I
video.
want
I'm
to
going to
see the
show
video.
you this video. So this is a trip that producer Orlando J. Gomez and I took back in March, and we went down to LA to meet with executive producer Franco Sama, who we had never met before. And we also went, there's our dogs, that's fun. We also went and met with Tom Armbruster, who is the president and CEO of, you know what? I'm just going to let the video explain it and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Here we go.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Okay, you're gonna have to forgive how dark it is right now. I'm in a parking garage in LA. And I am here in LA to visit a couple of very important people. For the first time, I'm going to meet executive producer Franco Sama in person. Also later this afternoon, I'm going to be visiting with Tom Armbruster, who is the president and CEO of the 209 Group, which is a special effects house here in Los Angeles. I'm going to see the brand new tech that he's got. Very excited to talk with him about our ideas. And more importantly, I'm just really excited to see this tech. This stuff is insane, and I can't wait to see it for myself in person. Meeting with Franco finally was fantastic. He took us on a tour of LA Center Studios where he works, has several sound stages where a number of productions have been hosted over the years, including one of my favorite shows, Mad Men. I never get tired of the environment that movies and TV shows happen in. There's just something that's kind of electric about it. I'm like a kid in a candy store with that kind of stuff. We got to talk about everything that's going on and how good the investment is going already, which he was very excited about, of course. We were able to meet with Tom Armbruster at 209 Group. We were able to see his whole setup. He just last week installed LED walls, which is the same background tech that kind of takes the place mostly of blue screens and green screens and allows you to just put an actor in an environment that looks photoreal, but that actually is not. And the great thing is that these aren't like photographs that you put on the screens. These are 3D renders that are done with a video game engine called Unreal. And that means that the environment can be manipulated. You can change the lighting, you can move a scoreboard from one place to another, you can turn on the fan or turn it off, and you can do all of this digitally. Pretty much anything you can imagine that you can do within this 3D rendered environment. And even when you're standing there with it face to face, it looks 100% real. And of course, it looks even more real in camera. And so getting to check out that space with Tom and hearing him talk about his career and how he came into it and how excited he is for this technology, about how he just met with the Marvel guys last week, and the fact that Tom saw the short film of The Shift and believed in it so much and what we're doing so much that he offered this space and this technology to us to use for free is still a mind-blowing thing for me. Orlando is more of a visual effects guy than I am. I mean, I love visual effects, but Orlando knows visual effects, works in visual effects. He was really taken with it and understood, of course, everything Tom said on a level that I, quite frankly, did not. And we also had the chance to talk with Tom about some of the sequences that we want to pull off. Thankfully, everything we talked about, everything we want to do, Tom could see clearly how it could be done, and he saw very clearly, as I do, how these spaces, which a couple years ago didn't even exist, are really the best spaces to do these sequences in for The Shift. So we're gonna have some state-of-the-art visual effects, the kind of which a film of our size never really would have access to otherwise. And we're able to do that because of Tom and because he is somebody who believes in what we're doing and wants to support us. That kind of support is how we make this film even better than it would be otherwise. And I'm very, very grateful for that. This was our LA trip. We got so much more to do before this movie's ready to be made, but this was an important day. This was an important day to connect with Tom and connect those dots with Franco as well. It's coming together. That's what I see happening. It's just coming together.
So
That was cool.
yeah, that is a look at the tech we're actually going to have access to. And look, I blew by it really quick in that video, but I cannot overstate to you how amazing it is that that's all available to us for free. That is cutting edge stuff. And what you actually just saw was a temporary installation that is much smaller in size and scope compared to what Tom is going to be installing in the summer. That is just to get them by for now. This tech is so new that he had only installed it less than a week before we actually visited that place. I'm sure by now it's even more impressive. But this is the same tech that was introduced in this TV show, The Mandalorian.
I think I've heard of that.
You have heard of that. We watch it in this house, except for you. And this, it fools the eye into thinking that actors are outside when they're really not. And I remember watching like 5 episodes of that show and not even realizing that all of it was indoors. That's how this stuff, that's how impressive this is when everything is operating and the lighting is right and everything is going. And so the fact that we're going to have access to that technology, which is only a couple of years old, just blows me away. And it's part of the blessing. It's part of the coming together. It's part of what my friend Kara calls the unfolding of
Maybe unfolding,
unfolding. Yes, I can
not
unfold. You're
unfolding.
right. This would be folding. This would be unfolding. The unfolding of the plan that I believe God has for this film and for this project.
Hey, you're not muted, are you?
No, I'm not. I got it right this time. Um, we got another comment here from Randy. He says, "I found out about the shift from my friend Debbie Paulson, who is an actress, and the producer Dallas Jenkins and AP Justin Overlander uh, endorsing it. They are from a series Debbie Paulson had an opportunity to be an extra on, The Chosen. She is so passionate about the shift and sharing it with everyone that I would like to invest."
Wow.
Wow, Andy, or Randy rather, we would very much welcome you. The Chosen is a show that we're big fans of. Dallas Jenkins, of course, the creator of The Chosen, is also one of our executive producers on the shift, and has been extremely supportive of everything that we're doing. And you know, we also have the composers from The Chosen. They're going to be composing the music for the shift. Matthew S. Nelson and Dan Hasseltine. So we feel very connected to The Chosen and very
They're so
grateful
much
for them.
cooler than we are.
They are, well, they're rock stars.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
Matt and Dan are literally rock stars. So yes, they're definitely cooler. They're definitely cooler than me. Maybe not you, but
No, they're
definitely me.
cooler than both of
Yeah. Our moderator says like Avengers Infinity War didn't even use this level of
us.
technology.
Yeah,
That's correct. When they made Avengers Infinity War, one of the biggest movies in the last 10 years, they did not have this tech
but we
that we'll be using, but we'll have it and we'll have it for free, which is just, I still can't even believe that's true. Um, Okay, so we are here today with my lovely wife, Erin, and I asked her to come today to talk to us. You know,
well,
you
I'm
haven't,
always here because
she's
I live
always here,
here.
that's true. She's always here and wondering when I'm going to finish and when we can have dinner. But yeah, I wanted her to come on today because she brings a unique perspective as a wife to me, a filmmaker. And you know what? It's not always the rosiest picture. If you're coming here expecting a talk where we're just going to tell you how great everything is, that's not what it is. Like the film, we're real people with real issues and real problems, and I'm like, we're not going to go deep on that today. This isn't marriage counseling.
This is therapy. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you for joining. But we're hoping to give you a clear picture on the love and the dedication that goes into this film. And I think Erin's perspective is a unique one, and I think you're gonna really like what she has to say, and I think it very goes very well what we're going to talk about today with the themes that are particularly evident in the feature film. So, but Erin, I'm really anxious to stop talking. So kick this off with, first of all, who are you? Nobody really knows much about you. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? That kind of thing.
So, like Brock said, I'm Erin. I'm Brock's wife. We will have been married for 21 years this July, which is shocking because we're only like 28 ourselves. Um,
I'm a little
I
older than you. I'm
Okay,
29.
you're 29. I'm
Yeah.
28. I am a communication instructor in town, and I also work as an instructional designer. So I help other instructors design their classes. Um, yeah. What else do you want to
Mhm.
know?
Well, I think there's more to your life than that.
Nope, just that.
Just that.
Just that. I have three daughters,
Yes.
and a whole slew of pets that I didn't necessarily want, but here they
I
live.
don't know how we have so many pets.
I
I'm
don't
really
either.
not big on having pets.
No, we have a lot of them, and they just keep coming. Um, so yeah, what else do you want to know?
I think that's good.
Is that good?
That's
Okay.
good. Um, so let's talk about the shift. When did you first hear about the shift?
um, so Brock did a haunted house in town where he started in about August and it ran through all of October. And I was pretty much a haunted house widow during that time.
Sadly, yes.
He lived there, he ate there, he's slept here kind of, but not very often. It was a really hard time. And I don't know what I can say or what I can't, but it
You
wasn't
can
exactly making any money either.
you can say that.
He had like a partial ownership in the haunted house, so if the haunted house was successful, we'd get paid at the end of it. But all of the work he did, see, it fell out. all of the work that he did, and all of his time, none of it was paid. And so, we'll use the word resentful. I felt a smidge resentful of that haunted house. It was not my favorite project. And so, right at the end of the haunted house, he came to me. He had a blast. It was so fun for him, and I'm excited he had the
And I
experience.
felt bad every minute of it because it
Yeah,
was a
it was
lot of fun,
so hard.
but I knew how hard it was for
He
you.
came to me right at the tail end of that and said, "I want to make a short film, and there's no money. In fact, we're gonna have to spend money to do it, and it's gonna be really awesome, and it really needs to happen." And I think I said no like 13 different ways, but
Sounds
not
about right.
ever definite, because it's not. We kind of have a policy that you don't crush each other's dreams. You maybe try to talk someone down off the ledge, but you don't just flat out say no. And so I was not going to flat out say no, but I tried a lot of different ways to convince him it was a horrible, horrible plan.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say you were nearly successful because I was pretty determined, but if there was ever a
But I
time,
am very
but you were
persuasive.
very persuasive, and we were very, let's just use the word, we were very,
Poor.
very poor. We were
we
very
had
poor.
we had both lost our jobs within 24 hours of each other about a year and a half before this, and
We're still struggling.
we were at this point in time we were still
We were struggling then. We're not
we
struggling
were
now.
making like we were making enough money to keep the lights on and to keep food in people's stomachs, but that was a balancing act. Like, we were that level of, and the fact that he
Yeah, like going to McDonald's was a major
was
decision.
yeah, was a
Like
major
if we
decision
went to McDonald's,
that was going to mess up the rest of the month type of
yeah,
place. And so when he said, not only am I not going to jump back into a more steady paying gig, this is going to cost us. It sounded like the dumbest thing I'd ever heard.
yeah. But you said yes anyway.
I did.
And why did you
Isn't
say
that
yes?
amazing?
It is
It's
amazing.
kind of
It
amazing.
makes you look really good.
It does make me look good. I don't know why, honestly, at that point in time, and I'll be honest, at that point in time, I was in graduate school getting my master's in communication, and I was pulling like 60, 70-hour work weeks.
Hmm.
And I was so busy and so slammed and so overwhelmed and so emotionally exhausted that honestly, I think saying yes was easier than negotiating you out of it, is the truth. It was
Probably less
like,
exhausting, yes.
just go do what you need to do, and then we don't have to like continue to discuss it, because I didn't have the emotional energy to discuss it.
But then I pushed you further and I dragged you into it.
Yeah, then he asked me to have a part of it. And I was like, buddy, man. And I think I said no to that 2 or 3 times too.
Yeah,
I think I did.
you didn't have time.
I did not
And
have
you didn't.
time.
I mean, that was fair. That was fair
I
for you to
didn't.
say that.
In fact, the day we shot, I was on set for I think 2 hours, including hair and makeup,
Hmm.
and then I was back at the library. I didn't even get to go and do the rest of the shooting with them because I was just slammed.
Yeah.
But there was a moment during the script reading, like during our table read. I think I said this at the last live, so if you're here again, sorry if you
Well, that was
you have to
6
hear
months
it.
ago.
But in our scripts that Brock gave to all of the actors, none of us had the prayer that Kevin says in the diner. Kevin had it, but all of the rest of us didn't. So we were sitting on the floor doing, it was a table read, but we were on the floor.
We didn't have a table.
We didn't have a table. We were sitting on the floor, and there was a fire going, which makes, like, there was a level of ambiance that was happening in the room, and we were all doing our parts.
Hmm.
But then it got to the point where Kevin starts to pray, and it was the first, none of us knew it was coming. So it hit us the same way it hit all of you the first time. And the spirit in that room, I looked over, and one of the crew members was sobbing. Big, strong, burly guy in the corner, just sobbing. And that was the moment that I was so grateful that I had not gotten in his way, because I knew there was something special. That doesn't mean that I loved every second of it, and I still don't love every second of it.
Yeah.
But that was a clarity moment of, this is something more than just Brock wants to make something really cool, and it's going to cost me $500.
Even though really back then I didn't have any idea really what to do with the film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any real connections. I didn't
Which
have any
was
real
part of,
plans, which
like,
is
let's
part of
be
the,
real. Part of why I wanted to say no, because he was like, I don't know what it'll be. I don't know why. I'm
yeah,
just gonna do it. And I was like, are you for real?
yeah. But it was something I felt needed to be, and even if I didn't understand why, I felt enough of that within myself that it should be, that just powered me through everything. And of course, now here we are, many years later, and we have a bit of a better understanding.
Sorry, I just
Now,
wanted
what are
to
you
see.
messing with my
I
screen
wanted to
for?
see the comments.
Well, we can see that later.
I couldn't see the comments.
We do have some comments here. We'll sidebar here for a second. Karen says, I heard about The Shift from Dallas Jenkins on social media.
Oh,
I love The Chosen, and I plan to love The Shift.
nice,
Awesome,
Karen.
Karen. Welcome. You must be new. Maybe you're new. We welcome you. We've got there is an amazing video going on around Facebook right now, with Dallas talking about The Shift and talking about me to genuinely, to my embarrassment a little bit. I think he even says in the video, like, I didn't tell Brock I was going to say this. But he's extremely complimentary of both me and the film, and we're really grateful to him for cutting that video for us.
Mhm.
Let's see, we heard from, and again, I'm doing my best with the names here, Sanad. He said it showed up in my video feed on Facebook by random, and I
Nice.
myself was in a serious highway car accident. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, I'm very
wow.
sorry to hear that. So it hit me pretty hard personally.
Yeah,
I thank God for letting me walk away from it alive, breathing, and well. I went through quite a few internal battles with myself, and this movie kind of reaches out to me.
that's so cool.
That that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And then another one from Randy. He's got a question here. It says two questions: where and how do I invest? And a coworker that I shared the information, Debbie told me about this movie with, became interested as well. And my coworker wanted to know about how the investment return works. Great question, Randy. You can invest, as it says right there on the screen. Oh, I pointed and I did it right. Angelstudios.com/the shift. You can invest right there. There's a button, and when you go to that site, there's a button that says back this project. It appears a few times on the page. Hit that button, you'll get going on the process. Honestly, all told, the entire process to invest probably takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Like, it's really,
Mhm.
really quick, and it's really, really simple. But the way the investment return works is this: you are investing in the film, however much you put in there, you will receive, if the film makes a profit, you will receive 120% return on your investment, before the creators, which is myself and actors and everybody else who's involved in making the film, before we get any profits at all. Once we make enough money to pay all of our investors back at 120% rate, then then we start getting paid, but you continue to get paid according to your percentage share of the film.
So cool.
Yeah, so it's a pretty nice setup. I'm working super hard, and I've got to work even harder so that
Yes,
I can get paid
yes.
eventually. We got to make a really good film in order for me to get
It's a
paid.
reoccurring theme.
Yeah, it's a reoccurring theme. But no, we know we've got to make a really good film if we're ever going to make anything. So that's our focus. So please share that with your coworker, and we would love to have you both on board with us. Kathy asks, she says, already invested, but if we do it again, is it one investment or two?
That's a
So
good
it's a
question.
great question. So I mean, I guess technically you're investing once and then you're investing twice, but it's on our books, it's considered all the same thing.
He
Oh,
says I need to speak up.
okay. My voice is very loud. Okay,
I'm
we'll
moving
we'll
in.
get you closer. Thank you for that tip. So Kathy, your investment is cumulative. So like for example, with our perks, we offer a $500 perk. If you invest $500, you get to have your name in the credits of the film. Um, and so if you invest, $100 one time and then $400 second time, well, then you're at the $500 level. You made it happen. So it's all combined together in our books. So
So
no
it's
need to
one
worry there. So it's really just one investment, but you can invest multiple times.
into
Does
that
that,
one
yeah,
investment.
into that one investment. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Um, let's see. Rick asks, it is so difficult to make such a challenging decision when the outcome is unknown and scary. We need faith like this to grow in our lives. It also helps our society see sometimes that's better than what is being produced by almost every movie company currently out there. God bless. Thank you, Rick. That means a lot. It is difficult to make a decision when you don't know. I mean, making the Shift short film was basically a leap for both of us, a leap of
Yes.
faith that I could even do it in the first place, and a leap of faith for you that it was not going to
It,
destroy our family and finances.
right. Right.
And thankfully, it didn't do either thing. We're stronger than ever. And I think that's because we pull together
Hmm.
instead of apart, and we have those hard discussions with each other.
Hmm.
Um, let's jump into a video. So I want to show you a video. This is a video I haven't really ever shown that many times, but this is
I
a,
haven't really ever shown that many times.
yeah,
That was funny.
I think,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
think that's proper
I
English.
don't think it
I
is.
think it is.
Okay,
We'll
sorry.
review that later.
Sorry.
Thank you for that. Uh, this is how
He
it is with you.
loves when I come
I
on.
love it when
It
you're
is
here.
his
It
favorite
is my
thing.
favorite thing. While we're showing this video, this behind the scenes of how we made the Shift short film, you're going to see just how small a production this
Yep.
was.
You'll get to see our
You get to see
house.
our house too. Well, they've already seen our house in the short, but
True.
If you make an investment, just as a reminder, if you make an investment while we're live right now, we would love to shout you out. So please do. Our moderators are ready to let us know. Here we are, the Shift short film behind the scenes. Yeah, you go back into the garage there in the laundry room.
So this is gonna be here.
That's just going to be there.
We're ready.
Okay, ready? All right. Sound ready.
Speed.
Camera. Whoa. Camera speed.
All right, The Shift, scene 1, take 1. Mark.
Wait.
Your Bobby Pin, your Bobby Pin, and your Punk A Bobby Pin.
I shared my bacon with him.
Give me some bacon right here. Bacon.
In case you don't know our names, my name is Sully.
You know what it is.
I don't want to know your name.
This is Andrew.
Everyone stop moving. It's perfect. Right there.
Freeze. Unfreeze. All right, I just got a notification from our moderator that there are 9 people working on investments right now, and none of them have come through. Can you let us know if you're having any trouble, if there are any tech issues right now? Let us know in the comments. We have people who can give you a call, who can help you out. We would love to figure out if there's any kind of problem right now because we're not getting those investments coming through, and that usually indicates there might be some kind of a technical issue, especially since we're live right now. We'd love to shout you out. Please let us know if you are one of those 9 people and you're having any kind of trouble at all. We want to help. So that was behind the scenes of the making of the Shift short film. It was a ragtag bunch to put it together.
It was as rinky-dink
as
as it looked.
looks. It really was. but thankfully we had
And full, like, a lot of you have commented on the boom operator. Like, we weren't 100% sure that ledge in our house,
is enough to support a man's weight.
had a stud underneath it. And so
Yeah,
that was a moment of talk about faith. I was like,
yeah.
sure, you can sit on
Sit
my
up there. We'll see
ceiling.
what happens. Thankfully, it worked out well. Kara asks if you mentioned the higher investment perks. I haven't. There are higher investment perks. If you want to, for example, be an extra in the film, or if
Yeah,
you
you
want to
do.
come and have, a day on set and just hang out and have lunch with me. If you want to be an associate producer or an executive producer of the film, there are investment levels that allow you to do that. So we encourage you to take a look at the perks. It's on our investment site. I don't think I can actually show. Yeah, if you scroll down a little bit from here, you'll see a tab that says perks, and you'll be able to check out all those
Check 'em
perks.
out.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's go back to us. We got some more comments here. To save on production costs, why don't you shoot in Texas?
That would increase production costs.
That would increase production costs. Well, in some ways it would. We're shooting where we live, and we're shooting where we live both because we want to have as many of our people work on it. We also this is the place. I have all the locations scouted out. In fact, I have a location scout video I'm hoping to share with you soon.
Well, and our city's been so
And our
generous
city
and warm and
exactly
welcoming,
wants to roll out the red carpet
and
for
we want
us,
to let them.
and we want to let them. So they are looking to make this production as affordable as possible for us. Fresno is an extremely film-friendly place because films generally are not shot here. And so even though we're in California, and you guys who aren't in California, you're probably thinking, oh, you guys must live next to Hollywood. No, we're like 3 hours away from Hollywood. Hollywood never comes here. So we're going to bring Hollywood to Fresno, and Fresno's going to roll out the red carpet to make that a fiscally responsible thing to do.
Yep.
But there's a lot of places here in Fresno that look exactly the way I need them to look for the film. So there's a lot of production value we get without even really having to dress it up. So there's a lot of different factors that go into us wanting to shoot here in California. Lisa asks, Brock, how did you shoot the accident scene? Someone hit my head in July and totaled my vehicle. The shift scene seems so realistic.
They hit her head on. They didn't hit her head.
Oh, they hit. Oh, thank you. That's a good correction. Don't forget to speak up. Nathan says you need to speak up.
Still?
Yes. Well, I don't know if he's still, but I'm just
I have
reminding you.
never been told that I'm too quiet.
You've never been told that in your life. That's true. We shot, so the accident scene, just very briefly, because I want to get back to your story, because the best stuff is coming. The accident scene was shot in two pieces. We shot out on the street. We basically put Orlando's truck. He was driving the truck that hits Kevin. We put it right up against the door, and then we had him throw the truck in reverse and go backwards as fast as he could. Then we ran that footage in reverse, which means the truck looks like it's coming at the vehicle. And then we shot what's called plate. We shot another plate of footage in an alleyway, and you actually saw a clip of this in the behind the scenes video where we had a green screen where the truck was, so outside of the vehicle. We had the window rolled down, and then we had Greg, our actor who plays Kevin. He kind of like rocked around like he was getting hit, and we threw sugar glass that you made in our oven. We threw sugar glass at Greg through the window, and then the rest of it is just visual effects to kind of like crack the glass and things like that, and just kind of move
Again, as rinky
frame
dink as
around.
possible.
As rinky dink as possible, but it works. I mean, it looks great, and Chris Loafing did the visual effects on that. Yeah, the accident scene, people buy it, but that car is okay, and in fact, our daughter now drives it, and it's out in front of our house right now. So
Yep.
the car is fine. Great. So Erin, getting back to you for a minute. So the film's made. Here we are, a few years later. We're crowdfunding, and this is the second time we've done this.
Mhm.
So you now are very familiar with the crowdfunding process and what that
Yes.
takes. It's not a thing that a filmmaker typically does.
No.
Typically, a filmmaker is going out to Hollywood studios or to, with producers and getting hooked up with investors, which we are doing a little bit of. But this whole crowdfunding thing, where I'm talking to you directly as though anybody should be looking at my face and listening to my words, that's just not what directors typically do. So, what is it from your perspective? What is it like for you while I'm doing all this? Because you see what I do. You guys see me once or twice a week on a live stream. But the truth is that I'm working on this, let's say all the time.
Mhm.
There's just a lot of different things I'm doing. But what is it like for you?
Um, it's a lot like being a haunted house widow. Brock is consumed 24 hours a day. And when he's physically with us, you're not always like sometimes I'll catch him at dinner just
Yeah.
staring off into space. And I know that he's planning whatever and building whatever. Brad goes on our dates with us now. He's the moderator of this, and he hangs out with us in the car while we have our like 30-minute ice cream dates.
Because Brad and I always need to interface,
Because Brad
basically.
and Brock always have to talk.
Yeah.
And that Brad's great, but yeah, I'm dating him now too. Our kids understand that when dad's on a live stream, all internet has to cease, and they hit me up every time we have a live stream for McDonald's. So
Which we can easily afford now.
which we can afford now.
Yay.
Bravo to us. But you know, the next time there's a live stream that my children are eating Happy Meals. It's a huge, massive emotional toll, and that doesn't cover the panic and the fear of what if the money doesn't raise and how do we make this happen, and just the roller coaster ride of the refresh button constantly to find out who's invested. It's like putting your whole soul out into the world and hoping people will embrace it, and it's exhausting. It wears me out. I don't love them. I'm not going to lie. I don't like these campaigns.
Yeah. So then I came to you about a month ago and I said, hey, what do you think about doing it again?
And I don't think I spoke for a while.
No, you pretty much walked out of the room.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
took a breather, and took a walk, because the thought of doing it again, it made me angry. It made me exhausted.
We're being honest here.
Real.
We're being real.
I was not a fan. I felt a lot like I did the first time he came to me and said, I'm going to do the shift. It was like, I don't want to. Right now is an incredibly difficult time for me professionally. I'm working too many jobs and doing too many things, and my kids are all still home from the pandemic.
Even getting you to sit down for this today was a bit of an effort.
Yeah.
And a sacrifice for you.
Yes, scheduling wise. And
Yeah.
I have work to do immediately after this is over. So no, this is the worst possible time in our lives. Brock really is good at picking those, to ask gargantuan things of.
I would argue I'm not the one picking the times.
Fair, but
the timing is not mine.
You're presenting them, and so your face is the face I respond to. So no, I don't like them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but that's okay. And I want to dig into that a little bit, if you don't mind. So despite all that, why say yes? Why is this worth doing again?
Because time and time again with this little movie that could, it's been clear that it continues to do things it shouldn't do. It shouldn't have been made. It shouldn't have made an impact. It should not have gotten VidAngel's attention. It should not have hit crowdfunding. It just shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And so the more that it is, and the more it's the little engine that could, the more I understand that like I can't get in its way. Like there are things that need to be done and that God is doing that are bigger than me and bigger than my schedule and bigger than my attitude, and bigger than you. And so I don't want to be the one that stops that work, but I will absolutely complain about it sometimes.
And that's fair. And that's fair. I mean, look, I did not marry somebody who just, goes along with whatever.
No, I'm not a yes
we're good
dear.
at challenging each other, and I think that's important.
Well, and because we both work and wear a lot of hats, in our jobs and have multiple jobs, it is our job to check and balance each other and make sure we're not taking on too much and messing up the ultimate job of parenting that we've been asked to do. Like it's always that balance of how much is too much and when do we back off and how do we take turns and all of that kind of good stuff. Yeah. So that's always front of mind.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, look, there's, and we're not whining. Like no. There's no whining going on here.
No.
I'm not trying to throw a pity party or engender your sympathy or like, oh my gosh, how bad for them. That's not what this is about. I think the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because and we have certainly handled bigger things in our lives, both of us, together and apart. But it still gets at this idea that I think the film is really getting at, which is that when you have difficulties, you have to stay positive, and you have to stay, especially as a spouse, you have to stay supportive amidst a trial.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really important thing here. And the fact is that usually there is no blessing that comes from God without an accompanying trial. That just isn't the way it
Or at the
works.
very least, a sacrifice.
Yeah, or at the very least, a sacrifice. So as much as I would love to just sit back and receive blessings, I know that there has to be some work that goes into that, and I know that you understand that too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well,
Um,
and it's been a consistent theme throughout my life. So
mhm,
I kind of, and maybe a lot of you feel this way too. Early on in my adult life, I really thought that the way to get through a trial or get through a hard time would be to like put my head down and gut it out. And like
mhm,
when it was over, I would pick my head back up and keep going. But there were several times early on in our marriage and in our parenting lives that the trial didn't go away, right? There was no
mhm.
end point. Like typically you have something really hard and then it goes away and you move on to the next thing. But like when Cami was born, and they started thinking that there
Cammy's
were
our middle
our middle
daughter.
daughter, and within about 6 weeks of her being born, there was concern about her development, and that concern turned into an awareness and an understanding of a disability, and that wasn't going away ever. And so there came a point
Mhm,
where I had to learn, instead of waiting for it to go away, I had to learn how to be better in it. Instead of waiting for it to be better, I had to be the one that was better. And then when we lost our jobs, I laughed with Brock. The night we both lost our jobs, I said to him, at least one will be short. At least this one will end, because we have to eat, we have to live somewhere. So God won't leave us out on the diving board dangling. Like this one will have an ending at least. And we're here 6.5 years later. We've been incredibly financially blessed and protected through this time. But the same,
Eventually, we got to the blessings. It
yeah,
was probably about 4 years
it
before we saw
was.
any real financial relief.
It took a long time, and the
Yeah.
stability that came from our jobs, like that stability, that consistency
Hmm.
isn't there still.
Yeah.
And so for us, there's been this reoccurring theme of, when the trial doesn't go away, how do you still find joy? How do you still enjoy and be happy and celebrate what God is doing
Hmm.
when there's something catastrophic that's happening in your life that God isn't taking away?
Hmm.
Um, and that has been something that's hit us time and time and time again.
Yeah. So, I wanted to follow up with that immediately, but it
Yeah.
looks like we are having an investment bug. If anybody is having issues, please, private message us your email and we'll contact you just as soon as it's fixed. This bug could not be coming at a worse time.
Isn't that the theme of today?
That is the theme of today. The timing is terrible. That this bug is happening. It means why we have no investments going in.
Maybe it's so they can keep listening.
Maybe it's so they can keep listening. I don't know. But please, at the Shift Film Facebook page, you can private message us your email and your contact info as well if you want to pass along your phone number, and we will get back to you. We will jump on this. This is what we're going to do today. So don't give up on us. We're not going to give up on you. It's going to happen. We will get this fixed. We have very good tech support, and they are going to fix this up.
And they are not
And
us.
they are not us.
Because
That's
Brock can't unmute, so he won't tech support you.
Hey, I haven't done bad since the beginning of this stream.
Still,
I mean, I messed up once.
Brock won't be the one helping you.
Anyway, so everything you're talking about, not only is it exactly what the feature film is about, and those of you that have read the script, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the major theme of the feature film. This idea that you are in the middle of a trial, you don't see any ending for it, you don't see God anywhere, everything is not going well, and what do you do? And what do you hold on to? And how do you find light and beauty and faith within the darkest of trials? That's what the feature film's about. But I feel like we've all been kind of living in that space anyway for the
Mm-hmm.
past year plus now. We are thankfully seeing people getting vaccinated and we're seeing us coming out of this pandemic. That is happening now. But for a very long time now, we have been in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Erin, you have done something during this pandemic that I think is completely unique and that I think in a lot of ways saved our family
Mm-hmm.
and made it so that we could endure this trial, not only just endure it, because enduring in that kind of denotes like, oh, it's difficult, which it is, but I got through it. It wasn't my favorite thing. But you've actually made this pandemic genuinely enjoyable for us. And that to me is a miracle. That is the miracle that I have experienced in this past year. And I think it speaks directly to what we're trying to do with this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for us, and it's important that you know, for us, Cami has significant cognitive disabilities. She has epilepsy. She has a compromised immune system. And so when this pandemic started, we, along with a lot of you, were really concerned and terrified about our ability to enable her to survive the last year. There was a real sense between us that if we didn't hunker down and batten down the hatches, that we would be a statistic. And so our family went into full lockdown. So on March 14th of last year, we shut our doors and did not see grandparents, did not go to church, did not see friends. Our children didn't go to school. We didn't hug anyone. We didn't see anyone. We became a bubble of five. And it was pretty clear to me early on in that process that that was going to take its toll, and it was going to take its toll hard. But here's the beautiful part about when Heavenly Father or God gives you these like incredible trials and you figure out how to have joy in them. When the next trial comes, you have a lot more clarity and insight in the beginning rather than the end. And so our daughter was a senior last year, and it became very clear to me very quickly that she was going to miss out on a lot. And so we started figuring out ways to celebrate at home. So we started with a home prom. Which was super fun. We got her a corsage, and a friend brought over a dress and dropped it off, and we Lysoled it and put it on her. We all dressed up. We made decorations. We went to prom, and then we did a home graduation in the front yard, and grandparents came and stayed in their cars and parked right in front of the house. And then after those celebrations kind of ended, we realized that those celebrations were kind of giving us something to look forward to and giving us something to feel joy about. And it occurred to me that we shouldn't wait until something big happens to celebrate. And so we started celebrating every 10 days that we made it in our bubble for the pandemic. And it started at day 50. And every 10 days, we would have these ridiculous celebrations, and we'd celebrate anything and everything. So that was day 120. We had a spa day.
Wait, it started too.
Oh, did it start too soon?
Started too soon.
I'm sorry.
Too late, I mean. Oh, well,
That's okay.
That's okay.
So this is day 120. We had a spa day. Violet did a ribbon cutting, and it was so fun. And what would start to happen is, instead of dreading the fact that we were in this bubble forever and ever and ever, it seemed, we started looking forward to what we'd do next and how we would play and how we would celebrate. There's the spa day again. She's so cute. I started sharing these on Facebook and on Instagram, and people started commenting about how they were excited to see what we did next, and they were playing along. We found ways to, this is Christmas in July, so we each drew names and we bought gifts, and Brock provided, this was day 130, was Christmas in July. We did silly things like we each picked a country around the world, and we researched that country. We made food from that country. So I did anything I could do.
And we shared with each other what we'd researched. Yeah, what we found out.
And so I found Amazon. This is not a shout out to Amazon, but it sounds like one. Amazon will send you anything just about in the mail. And so we had a lot of random packages sent to our house in order to pull off these celebrations, but they became these spirit boosters. Like we just felt so good afterwards. And at the end of each celebration, we would plan the next 10-day celebration. When we got to day 200,
it was our taste testing.
Yeah, we did taste testing. So we got a whole bunch of different
cookies,
chocolate chip cookies and ice
cream
and water. And then we did blind taste testing. Just a bunch of stuff that's easy to do, that anyone can do. We had a movie night, just a plain old movie night, but we had snacks and treats, and we gathered, and we made intentional ways to celebrate and have joy amidst one of the hardest moments in the world.
We even roped our friends into it.
We did.
They zoomed over with they had like a watch party with them in Utah.
Yeah. And at one point, one of my childhood friends that I knew from elementary school sent us a care package all the way from Western New York, filled with goodies so that we could have the next celebration. But it really drove home to me, to our kids, to you, to the world, that celebrating and finding joy and finding happiness does not come when the pandemic's over. It comes when you decide to look around and see all of the good that's happening in your lives. And I think it's so the parallel to Kevin's journey. Our church theme was "I will go and do," and I changed it to "stay."
Yeah.
because we were going nowhere.
Here we are back at the beginning with the
Yeah,
sock
we're
hop.
back at the sock hop. This was day 50. But we're getting ready now to celebrate day 405, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I
And
can't.
it'll be our final celebration. We're going to send out goodie bags to a few families and let them have their own celebrations. But we have endured this time of complete and utter lockdown with joy and with fun and with dancing and with celebrating. And my
Mhm.
hope is that my children will always remember this last year, not because it was scary and because it was hard and because we were home, but because we played and
Mocktail night.
mocktail night was so fun. I'll share recipes later, but because we played and because we loved on each other and because we made the most of what we had. And I feel like I'm so much more grateful,
Hmm.
especially now that we're fully vaccinated and starting to creep back out into the world. I don't take anything for granted. So this last year's been hard, but so fun, and so special. And we have this crazy amount of memories
Yeah.
from all of these celebrations.
No, it's been an incredible time, and I thought it'd be really fun to give you a peek at how it all started. Erin mentioned that it all kind of kicked off with doing an at-home prom for our oldest daughter, and the way that that worked is that John Krasinski, who is an actor, he did a really great thing when the pandemic first started. He started a new YouTube channel called Some Good News, and every week he would release a new video just with good news. That was all it was, just good news, no bad news. And it was a really great little thing he did for about 6 weeks. But one of those weeks, he hosted a prom for everybody who was stuck at
Do you know
home.
it was a year ago today?
Was it a year ago today?
It
You're
was a year
kidding me.
ago
Oh my
today.
goodness.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
did not know that.
yeah.
Okay, so it was a year ago exactly today. What you're going to see, this is the video of our prom 2020 that we held at home. We even crowned a prom queen
Yes, we did. Of the
and
world,
of the world because
because there was no one else there.
John Krasinski actually showed some of this video in the next SGN episode, and so the whole world saw her crowned. So we call her the prom queen of the world.
Yes.
But here was what our very first celebration looked like. The pandemic was only what a month old at this point.
Yep.
But we were in it for the long haul, and this is what we did.
Yes! Welcome to prom class of 2020. Glow sticks for people. It's gonna be a blast. And we're all doing it safe from home. Thank you for coming. It happened. These kids just got a prom. You were missing prom, and your mom and your dad.
So yeah, that's our little family. That was 1 year ago today. We celebrated our prom at home. We took the awfulness of a pandemic, of having to stay inside, especially our family with a child with special needs. We felt like there was an extra sacrifice we needed to make, and we were glad to do that for her, as we always are. and you made it better. I mean, that whole thing. I mean, I did the video, but like, I didn't do anything else. You're the one that put it together, and
Well, and I feel like our girls understood too. We made an intentional effort several times throughout our celebrations to celebrate other people.
yeah,
So we delivered goodies, we delivered treats, we chalked notes to our neighbors, telling them nice things, and we got out of ourselves, and we got
yeah,
out of the fear that can come. And it was a really special time. I know that when this pandemic is all over, and I have faith that it will be, um, and our lives go back to normal, that we'll miss this last year a little bit, which is amazing.
yeah. But this is what the shift is about for me, and I think those that have read it, those that have connected with the short film, even, I think that they understand that this is what it's about. It's about finding the light within the darkness. A pandemic is one of the darkest things that can happen, and we found light there. And I argue, and I always argue, that God's light shines the brightest when we are in the darkness. That's when, if you think back, the times in your life when you have seen God more clearly in your life, when His light has shined the brightest for you personally, it's because you were in a spot where you really needed Him and you looked out to Him and you found Him.
Well,
That's what I see.
and Cami got her second vaccine this week, and
Yeah,
we had such a profound moment of we did it.
yeah, we got through it.
We got to
We
this
kept
point.
her healthy. She
Yeah,
never got sick. She hasn't
yeah.
been sick for over a year.
And we're not done. There's still more
No,
work to be done, but there's still more joy to be had too.
absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to keep on celebrating, and hopefully part of this whole story will be that we'll make this film, and then you can be even more of it. We can be a film widow for a while.
Yay!
We got a question here from Alan. He says, "Can I contribute more than once?" Yes,
Yes,
Alan, you can invest more than one time. You are
please
welcome to
do.
do so. However, you only have until April 29th. That's only 12 days from now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we recommend getting on it. There's not a whole lot of time left. We got another comment here from Denise. She says, "So glad to be here. Hi, Erin. You both are such a delight and a beautiful couple. Oh boy, the pups too.
Always the pups too.
I'm excited. It's a great manuscript. I'll be sharing the shift again and again. Awesome. Thank you so much, Denise. And thank you, all of you who have joined us. I am so sorry that we've had the technical issues. I have a feeling we would have had a ton of investments in this
I
last
know.
hour
We still
if
will.
only things were working correctly. They will get fixed. It will happen. Please do not give up on us. Please private message us if you're having any trouble at all. We'll probably put a notice out on our Facebook page once things are fixed to let everybody know that they can come back in. But for now, just stick with us. Send your personal info. We will get in touch with you. We will make it happen. We so appreciate your willingness to partner with us, and we know that you won't give up on us. We do only have 12 days left.
Whew.
12 days left in this round. We want to get to that 500 million. Not
Whoa!
not 500 million.
Whoa! We did not discuss that.
That would be an Avengers movie.
Wait a minute. I mean, I won't turn it down, my friends, but whew.
My goodness. Okay, I got an update here. It looks like the engineers have identified a possible issue. They're testing now to see if it's fixed. So we could see a fix here in just a minute. A moderator, should we sign off here, or should we wait and
No, there's a
announce some?
question. Can I answer this question?
Okay,
It's for me.
go for it.
Debbie Polson asked if I helped write any of the script. So I like to say that everything Brock does is co-written by me, but that's a lie.
It's definitely a lie.
It's a total lie. But I did think when he asked me to be Molly, I was concerned for a hot second that he thought I was Molly, like he had written it about me, and it was some like cry for help. It's not, and it's all good. But I think that every project
It was based on a real conversation.
it was. But I think
Yeah.
every project that he or I work on, the support, it's not possible without each other.
Yeah.
But no, I don't write anything because I don't. But I'll help crack stories sometimes or give ideas.
Yeah. You're great. You're a great sounding board. Erin is really bad at telling me something is good when it's not.
Yep.
So she, if I bring something to her, she is going to let me know if it's bad, and so I have to steel myself.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm not married to somebody who just tries to stroke my ego.
But
If
in all
anything, it's the
fairness, like
opposite.
if I ask him if I look fat in an outfit, and I do, he will be like, "Yes."
That's true. I will,
Yes,
and then
you
you
do.
will yell at me.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so that is our relationship in a nutshell.
Yeah. So no, I don't write, but I am a soundboard.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. You're hanging off on the edge of the screen. See,
like that.
there you go.
Okay.
That's great. That's perfect. Good correction.
Excellent.
You know what? Some of you have come in late. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to throw up our LA trip video. This is a trip that Orlando J. Gomez and I, my producer, took to LA to check out technology, cutting edge technology.
I didn't get to go.
I mean, no, you didn't get to go, and I'm sorry, but somebody had to take care of the kids.
I know.
But this is cutting edge technology that every studio in town, or rather not our town, but Hollywood, is trying to use. And we have access to it for free because the man who owns this technology and who runs this effects company, he loves the shift and he wants to support it, and this is his way of supporting it. It's an incredible blessing. Check it out.
Okay, you're gonna have to forgive how dark it is right now. I'm in a parking garage in LA. And I am here in LA to visit a couple of very important people. For the first time, I'm going to meet executive producer Franco Sama in person. Also later this afternoon, I'm going to be visiting with Tom Armbruster, who is the president and CEO of the 209 Group, which is a special effects house here in Los Angeles. I'm going to see the brand new tech that he's got. Very excited to talk with him about our ideas. And more importantly, I'm just really excited to see this tech. This stuff is insane, and I can't wait to see it for myself in person. Meeting with Franco finally was fantastic. He took us on a tour of LA Center Studios where he works, has several sound stages where a number of productions have been hosted over the years, including one of my favorite shows, Mad Men. I never get tired of the environment that movies and TV shows happen in. There's just something that's kind of electric about it. I'm like a kid in a candy store with that kind of stuff. We got to talk about everything that's going on and how good the investment is going already, which he was very excited about, of course. We were able to meet with Tom Armbruster at 209 Group. We were able to see his whole setup. He just last week installed LED walls, which is the same background tech that kind of takes the place mostly of blue screens and green screens and allows you to just put an actor in an environment that looks photoreal, but that actually is not. And the great thing is that these aren't like photographs that you put on the screens. These are 3D renders that are done with a video game engine called Unreal. And that means that the environment can be manipulated. You can change the lighting, you can move a scoreboard from one place to another, you can turn on the fan or turn it off, and you can do all of this digitally. Pretty much anything you can imagine that you can do within this 3D rendered environment. And even when you're standing there with it face to face, it looks 100% real. And of course, it looks even more real in camera. And so getting to check out that space with Tom and hearing him talk about his career and how he came into it and how excited he is for this technology, about how he just met with the Marvel guys last week, and the fact that Tom saw the short film of The Shift and believed in it so much and what we're doing so much that he offered this space and this technology to us to use for free is still a mind-blowing thing for me. Orlando is more of a visual effects guy than I am. I mean, I love visual effects, but Orlando knows visual effects, works in visual effects. He was really taken with it and understood, of course, everything Tom said on a level that I quite frankly did not. And we also had the chance to talk with Tom about some of the sequences that we want to pull off. Thankfully, everything we talked about, everything we want to do, Tom could see clearly how it could be done, and he saw very clearly, as I do, how these spaces, which a couple years ago didn't even exist, are really the best spaces to do these sequences in for The Shift. So we're gonna have some state-of-the-art visual effects, the kind of which a film of our size never really would have access to otherwise. And we're able to do that because of Tom and because he is somebody who believes in what we're doing and wants to support us. That kind of support is how we make this film even better than it would be otherwise. And I'm very, very grateful for that. This was our LA trip. We got so much more to do before this movie's ready to be made, but this was an important day. This was an important day to connect with Tom and connect those dots with Franco as well. It's coming together.
Oh, that's
what I see happening. It's just coming together.
Yeah. All right. So that is a peek at the kind of technology that we're going to be able to utilize for the feature film. If you have read the script, I don't think it's too much of a leap to say you probably can guess which sequences we're going to need this technology for. There's a very specific sequence.
Oh, are you muted?
No, I'm being told hot mic.
What does that mean?
Oh, that means that means I unmuted and they heard you talking to me before we were actually live.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was good with the mute button, but you were bad with the silence.
Oh, I was just asking what the scene was.
No, you didn't say anything bad.
No, I want to know what
It's
the
fine.
bar was.
It's fine.
What that's from.
Yeah. No, the bar was just was like like off the hallway there where the tech was. That was on a warehouse, and those are the hallways we were walking through. And I think that's like a little mini set they use for bars and stuff. I don't know.
Oh, Roger Kirby says we make the mic hot.
It's Roper Kirby.
Oh, Roper Kirby.
You guys
Sorry.
make the mic hot. That'd be her, not me.
See you.
See, I got the moderator here texting me. We are grateful for you for attending today. We are sorry that the entire investment system was basically down for this entire hour, but hopefully it's getting fixed right now. I've got a message coming in here. I'm waiting to hear what's going on. But you can go to angelstudios.com/the shift right now. Turns out we're not really sure when we're going to have the fix. It is going to be in. Keep checking the site. It's going to happen. You can also message us privately, and then we will notify you when things are fixed, and then you can go ahead and make your investment. We're going to fix this. These little blips, they happen once in a while. It's nothing to be concerned about.
Yeah, it's totally normal.
So just make sure you get your info over to us, and we will help you through it and
by
make sure you know.
we mean people smarter than us.
Not me personally, but somebody who's much more capable than I will get in touch with you about all of this. I'm a filmmaker, not back-end investment specialist.
Yeah, no.
So again, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We have a really exciting, another exciting live stream coming up here. On Wednesday, I'm going to be joined by sound supervisor Brandon Jones. You've never heard from him before. Brandon Jones
He's the nicest
is
man
the
ever.
coolest dude, and he is working.
Also cooler than us.
Also way cooler than us. He is working on some of the biggest Hollywood productions right now. He did sound design for both A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place 2.
Which won an Oscar for that.
Well, he didn't win personally.
No,
it was nominated. I don't think he won.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just really wanted
way to
it to
pour
win.
salt in that one.
Sorry. It should have won.
It should have won. That movie, the movie basically is sound design.
Looks like Thor's little brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But Brandon also works on the Transformers movies. He works with Michael Bay. He's working on a Tom Hanks sci-fi movie that's coming out later this year or next year. He's just working on the biggest
also,
stuff.
Like, irritatingly nice.
Oh, so humble and so nice. Did the sound design for our short film. This was before he got big, but is coming back for the feature film as the sound supervisor. And so we're going to have the benefit of his talents once again. There just simply isn't anybody, in my opinion, who's more talented when it comes to sound design in the industry. So I'm very excited to be talking with him. Thank you again. Thank you, Erin, for being here with us.
You bet.
I think we need to get some dinner now.
I live here.
Yes, you do. You're here anyway. You're stuck. You just happen to be on camera this time. I'm going to show you, and we're going to go into our pitch video real quick in case you're new and you haven't had a chance to see what's going on with the shift. You're going to hear from me. You're going to hear from fans of the shift, and you're going to hear from Dallas Jenkins, who is one of our executive producers of the shift. And then we'll catch you again on Wednesday for that very special live stream with Brandon Jones. Here we go. As soon as I find it.
Hi, my name is Brock Heasley, and I'm the writer and director of The Shift, the short film I made because I had never seen a character in fiction face off with the devil in the way that I would as a Christian, which is simply to pray. Quiet faith in the face of great darkness and temptation. And now I'm ready to turn that short into a full-length feature film. Just like most believers, I've faced that kind of darkness, and I've desperately needed that kind of prayer. I'm thinking about the violent death of my father, and the years of struggle towards understanding my wife and I had with our daughter with special needs. And we're not alone. So many good people struggle with chronic illness and children who go astray and more and worse. And in those long moments, knowing that God is real and knowing He exists, and we wonder when He's going to help, when He's going to show His face again. That's what the feature film will be about, a man who has already seen God's hand in his life, and that's when his true trial of faith begins. I don't know a single believer who doesn't know exactly what that struggle is like. And by telling that story, we have a chance to not only entertain, but to encourage and bring hope to so many.
I cannot wait to see how God is going to speak and move in the hearts of both those who believe and those who don't yet.
That's what makes the shift so powerful.
The Shift short film is so powerful.
Very powerful message of positivity.
It is not an accident that this film is coming out now. I truly believe that this is one of those feature films that will help usher in a whole new generation of faith-based cinema.
And that's why I feel the shift has to be made.
It has to be made.
And we've got the right team to do it. Not only do we have people who have been involved in successful Hollywood productions like A Quiet Place, Argo, World War Z, Pulp Fiction, and the upcoming Jungle Cruise, but we've also got Dallas Jenkins.
Hey there, I'm Dallas Jenkins. I'm the creator of The Chosen, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of why I have actually signed on to be one of the executive producers of The Shift. I remember when I first saw the short film, The Shift, and I remember thinking to myself, I don't know who this person is who made this, but I'm really impressed, and I wanted to see more. I wanted to see how it could be expanded upon. I wanted to see what Brock could do with an actual budget. And I think the message of The Shift and the future of The Shift is so important.
And we've also got the composers for The Chosen, Matthew S. Nelson and 4-time Grammy winner Dan Hasseltine. The story is not exactly the kind of movie Hollywood is used to putting out. That's where you come in. Together, you and I, we can turn this short film into a feature film and reach so many more people. In a previous crowdfunding round, we raised over $150,000. That brought us to the attention of not only private investors, but also to successful independent film producers who have now come on board because they see a potential crossover movie that can do well not only in the faith-based space, but also with general audiences, both domestically and internationally. With a bigger budget goal, we can make a movie that matches the quality of the story we're telling and approach known actors who will give us an even better chance in the marketplace.
My name is Erin Heasley, and I played the role of Molly in the Shift short film. I can't wait to find out who replaces me. Is it Jennifer Garner? Can it be Jennifer Garner? Jennifer, call me.
We're partnering with Angel Studios, the same studio that brought you The Chosen, Dry Bar Comedy, and so many more, to invite you to join us in making this important film a reality. I'm ready to follow Kevin out the door. I want to see what happens to him after he's had this incredible journey of faith, and he knows it's not going to get any easier. It's actually going to get harder. This is the chance to tell the story of a modern-day Job, a person who already had faith and was then seemingly abandoned by God and severely tested. Kevin, like Job and like all of us, will have to make the choice every day to still believe despite all evidence and hardship to the contrary, to find the light that cuts through the darkness. That's the story we can tell together, and it's the story people need, especially right now.
I can't wait to see how impactful and powerful it's going to be up on the big screen.
I really believe in the message and the power that lies in this film.
And I just can't wait to see what happens.
And now, for a limited time, and because we value you as a potential partner, we're offering you the chance to read the entire script for the Shift feature film. That's right, you can find out right now what happens to Kevin after he walks out that door. Read the script, join us, and invest in The Shift today at angelstudios.com/theshift.